What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my 100% walkthrough for Lords of the Fallen. This will be a 100% walkthrough on PS5 for those that are curious, going over all the main quests, all the main storylines, remembrance bosses, side quests, getting all items, armor, spells, weapons, you name it. Now, because you need to be able to back up your save, and we cannot do that on PS5, as there's 3 trophy endings, we cannot get a platinum a single playthrough. However, we are going to cover it, tell you what you need to do, how you need to go about getting all of your endings. But we will be teaching you how to put builds together for every class. So it does not matter what you choose. I will recommend one, but everyone has complete freedom to do whatever they want to do here. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to go over our starting classes and help you guys kind of decide what you want to do. So it's a walkthrough, very curated experience. We're going to be skipping dialogue and cutscenes. I always will tell you to do, your first playthrough should be blind, so you can experience the game in full for yourself. It's an experience that just isn't the same on a second playthrough. So, but if you need help, I'm here to help you. I know how these games can be. With that being said, I'm skipping all these things, but if it's your first time, don't skip it. Let the cutscenes play out. Go over the dialogue, read your item descriptions and stuff like that, so you guys can get all the story. I'll, briefly talk about certain things, but it's just not the same, right? Now, Dark Crusader would be the class I would recommend, but unless you pre-ordered or done the quest to unlock it, you're not going to have this, and I don't want an unfair advantage over anyone else, because we're not going to go with that. So, Hollow Knight, just your basic, I guess it would be strength. I'd almost say quality, but it would be more towards a strength build, just as, just an option for that, because there's another strength, like a true strength build, but this just, I don't know, just a good start, you know what I mean, as you have, sword and shield and really good armor set for early on in the game, so it's just not a bad choice, right? Next we have the werewolf or warwolf. So this is your strength build. So these classes actually come with a lot of stats starting off. So this is 16. 16 strength, 10 agility. There's probably be a decent quality if you wanted to do that. 13 endurance, 10 health, then 8 radiance, 8 inferno as physical build. Partisan. But this one, you're looking at, for sure, quality build with 13 strength, 12 agility, which is agility is going to be like your dex in this game, 12 endurance, 12 vitality, 8 radiance inferno. So if you want to go big boy weapons, go your warwolf, partisan for quality builds. So we have Morstead infantry. This would be another decent choice for quality, and it's kind of weird because there's like literally like 3 or 4 classes. It's just really set up for quality. It's really weird. So, Black Feather Ranger, really good choice for agility builds, decent endurance and vitality, obviously Radiance Inferno at 8. Every class is going to have those at 8 for the most part that isn't, actually focused on those. Now, this is the best agility class in the game, but you are starting out with 2 daggers instead of, 2 swords or sword shield or anything like that. Decent base stats, and yeah, just another choice. So, if you're trying to dual wield lighter weapons, it's definitely a choice for you. Then we have Orient Preacher, which is the class I'm going to recommend, as we are going to do a hybrid build of strength radiance that starts off with 18 radiance and 10 strength. So strength is a little bit behind. We'll have plenty of stats to get that up. Endurance and health are kind of low, so we'll be knocking that out first. But yes, very, very powerful build. And the reason I'm recommending it is we could, buff our weapon, heal ourselves, cleanse ourselves of any status effects. There's a lot of survivability, and probably some of the strongest weapons in the game are going to go for strength rating. So I really like that. Then you have your Inferno build. So just pretty much the opposite as Radiance. 18 Inferno, so it's going to give you access to a lot of fire type spells and fire weapons. Really fun, really strong build as well. There's not a single build in this game that's not good or not viable. Then you have the Condemned, and this is something that's always been in Souls games. For people like a harder experience, all your stats are at 9. You start out with a bucket, right? A bucket and a rock. So if you want a harder start, there you go. Then you have the Future Child, another one I've unlocked because of the secret ending I got. This is a really cool one, 15 Radiance, 15 Inferno, but you're not going to have it if you don't have it unlocked, so no point in talking about it. But if you're interested in New Game Plus, or not New Game Plus, like starting a new game after we go through, do all the quests, unlock all the classes and stuff like that, this is a really fun one. Actually, I like it quite a bit. But yeah, we are going to go and jump in with Ori Preacher. So the character creation does, have a lot of depth to it for the most part. But for the walkthrough, I'm just picking a pretty basic setup here. Although he does have like an old man face, does he not? I gotta make him look a little bit normal, right? I don't want a sloppy, slow dude. Alright, so I'm gonna just go with my regular name here, save some time, and we're ready to go. So next we're going to talk about pre-game modifiers. Now these are unlocked with New Game Plus. And to talk about this also, for those wondering why we're only doing a walkthrough now as the game's been out for a while, well, there's a recent update that changed a lot of things, and on top of that, other weapons were nerfed, some were buffed. There's been so many changes since it initially came out. There's probably a million walkthroughs on YouTube of this game. However, I do believe they're probably missing some stuff, right? So, yeah, I just want to do a really good job to go through and get everything we possibly can get. Go over whatever may be changed to where people have missed some stuff to make sure you guys have all of everything. Like I said, you have complete freedom. I'm going to cover every build, how to properly put your stats together, what weapons work best for each build. Going over boss strategies to help you guys get through. It's just a guide to help folks out, but we're not going to use any game modifiers. It's also going to give us an unfair advantage, so we don't want to do that. Alright, so just going to skip over our cutscenes. Take that off, get rid of our goofy stuff. So, tutorial area, go over this in your own time. Like I said, walk through, curate experience for just, go here, do this, get that. Now we're still gonna have a good time with the game, don't get me wrong, but this is just stuff you should do on your own. But main gist of it, down on your D-pads, get into your lantern, you use that with L2. Up on the D-pad goes to your catalyst, or range, whatever your range may be, L2. That's how you're gonna use it. So R1 soul blade, R1 siphon, R2 soul blade, square to enter umbral, and triangle for your vestige seed. Besides that, light attack's R1, heavy attack's R2, charge attack is charge R2, and it's pretty much the same as every other toolkit. So this is, like I said, just a tutorial area, so we're going to go forward and knock this out. And it just covers, basic combat of the game, teaching folks the mechanics and how everything is going to work. And the parry's pretty easy in this game. As you see, I don't even have a shield in my left hand. So, oh, my timing was off. Come on, buddy, do it. Do the thing. So, as you see, it doesn't matter. As long as you have one weapon in one hand, you get parried. So, now, I haven't been brazen enough to try it with no weapons. But I'm sure you need at least, one thing. Alright, so we're going to move forward, drop down a hole. Get a tint, which is actually an armor die, and we'll get those throughout the game. So you might find an armor set you really like where it's just like a raw metal, and you're like, damn, this would look good if it was red or gold. And tints, they just give you that option, right? So alright, now we want to run, jump. And there is some platforming in this game. I don't think it feels the best, though, to be completely honest with you. There's, a lot of stuff with the platform with, but with the jumps and stuff, you do want to kind of be careful. I will say that much. So we're going to take him out, move on up. Grab your rock. Get ready to shoot down your wooden cross over here. There's range stuff like throwables and stuff. You don't need, it's not like you have like 17 rocks and 12 grenades. They're infinite as long as you have ammo. So instead, what you're going to do is go to like quick items, and the game will automatically slot quick items if you didn't choose any. Well, eventually you're going to pick up ammo pouches, and that's how you refill your ammo. So as long as you have the throwable, it's infinite as long as you have ammo. So it's really nice. We're going to roll off, and we're going to use our lantern not to enter umbral, and this is going to be a thing in the game that's going to happen, guys. You're going to be going through, you're not wanting to enter umbral, you just want to pierce into umbral with your lantern, and go through a gate or walk over a bridge that's not in the main world or something like that. And that's going to come to play quite a bit. Ooh, you sneaky little fucker. Alright, now we do need to enter umbral, but we want to go over this first. then enter. Otherwise, the wall's gonna be blocking. And you've seen the wood there, thinking, oh, we could just run across that. Well, it ends up breaking, so you kind of have to enter umbral. Plus, we need to clear umbral entities. So how we do that, something that's blocking our path. So we just gotta put in soul play on those pustules or whatever you want to call them. Typically, what I call them, because there are other like actual pustules, and you're soul playing those too. So it's just easier to call it something, I guess. How many of those do we already have? We already picked up 2. So dual wielding. Dual wielding's really good. It's gonna help you build up stats effects much faster, like bleed or smite, burn, ignite. So it can be pretty good. If you're doing the bleed build or anything like that, you're gonna want bleed on both weapons and dual wield so you can get off pretty fast. You also notice we're getting a lot of attacks in a really quick time. This is very much a Souls game, but it also has quite a few action game elements to it as well. Pop that. Anytime they're glowing like that, glowing gold, that is going to be an upgrade for your healing. So, make sure you always get those. Always, always, always. We're going to drop down. Now, if you could lock onto any of these little, we'll call them eggs. There's a guy inside if you could lock on. So destroying that, see how he hatches? Destroying that before he hatches is obviously going to kill if you have to deal with him. So it's not something you always have to do, but if you're like in a hard fight with a more elite enemy and you're backed into a corner, you don't want those things hatching. Because some enemies are just like going to wither your health. And, with that, those guys can like just smack you one time and you're gonna die, right? So you really do want to be careful about that. And also to talk about withered health. So when you block enemy attacks, they're gonna wither your health. It's gonna be a great portion of your health bar. If they hit you one time, you lose everything. That's great. But in turn, you can also attack and get that back and turn that into regular health again. So it's a mechanic of the game. I guess it's similar to Bloodborne. It's different, but it's definitely very, very much like the same thing. And you can use these little skulls, and you'll be able to exit Umbral. Doing so, we can kind of just follow it around, work our way out. So. Now we're about to go on out and get our first visage, take out our first boss. Now, after we do take out this boss, it's pretty easy. It's just like a regular elite enemy we'll find around the world, and all mini bosses target just regular enemies. So, in game that can be quite challenging when you have 3 enemies and they're all bosses you've already killed. So it can be quite challenging. But at that point, we'll be doing so much damage and have so much health, it'll be okay. But after we do take this guy out, don't worry, loading screen always does that right in the same spot for whatever reason. Yeah, after we take this guy out, we're going to have to fight a really tough guy. Don't even try to fight him. You want to die to him, because dying to him 3 times is going to let you do a certain quest line where you could summon an NPC, and fighting him at the right time with the NPC is what unlocks the Dark Crusader's class. So without that, like if you kill him right now, you're going to miss out on the Dark Crusader's class. If you don't care about it, you can try. It's still a really hard fight, even when you fight him at the end of the game. See how just devastating parries can be. They're actually pretty easy to get as well. It's more like a Assassin's Creed type deal where you're just hitting L1 at the last second, opposed to trying to like Dark Souls. You're trying to aim your shield swing with the swing of the weapon. It's more realistic in that manner, but it's much more challenging. This, you just hit L1 at the last second, you're good to go. So I'm going to enter Umbral here just so he kills us faster and we can save some health. There we go. Now, this is pretty much just teaching you, hey, you gotta go back for your souls, right? That's what, you know, I guess that's what they want you to die to him for. That's what makes the most sense to me. So, we're gonna run on over, grab our souls, and move on. Okay, so as we work on up, we want to go on out to the right. We'll be able to grab a quest item, and you're going to see another item in the distance you cannot get until late game. It's actually the Dark Crusader's armor. And there's no point in talking about this really, but I don't want people thinking we missed something, right? So because of that, I want to just talk about it. So there's a door here, and you need to do a certain quest line unlocks that door, and it's like the beginnings to the Dark Crusader class being unlocked, like that quest. So, you know, now we've discussed it, and you guys know, don't worry, we're not missing anything. We're going to come back. I have very detailed notes. We're not going to forget it, you know, like we're good to go. So when we get here, you're going to notice his health bar is blue. So when you see that, he's got that little bubble, that means he has a parasite. So until you kill that parasite, you'll not be able to harm him. So what you want to do is just siphon. You know, that's all you got to do, is just siphon, and you're good to go. At this point, you can either enter Umbral or just, you know, roll off, kill yourself. Sometimes killing yourself is faster. There's no difference whether you enter Umbral to kill yourself or die. It's the same. You still come back with half your health bar and half withered health. It doesn't matter if you entered Umbral at full health or if you entered Umbral with one hit left. You're gonna have half health and half withered. So it's a tactic you can use to your advantage. If it's going up, get the message. We're going to stay in Umbral for the time being. Talk to the Wayfarer.
I always
You're probably
thinking that lamp's just a tool to be used as you see fit. Take it lightly, and you'll find it's the other way around. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. But since it seems making you a bigger if you know any...
Alright, so I divide. That's what you want to get from him. Now, the reason we're staying in Umbral is because we have a stigma to pull. So, stigmas are pretty much like memories, right? Soul playing them lets the memory play out, and you get what's known as 2 Umbral Scourings every time. Now, Umbral Scourings can be turned into certain NPC at the hub area, and that's going to get you boss armor, spells, and weapons as you take out certain remembrance bosses, you know, turn in the remembrances. Now, there is a quest item you need to be able to do that, and we'll cover that in 2 episodes, but right now, you know, the only thing really worth mentioning is the Umbral Scouring and how important they are. So we're going to move forward, exit Umbral. We're going to go on up and start taking some foods out. We got 2 right here. Him. Yeah, we got to land a lot of hits on these guys, don't we? We got him. We're go up to the left. Now you see the top right screens kind of have a purple mark by your souls. That means you have enough for a level. Just go in here swinging. Another wooden cross. There's a potential drop, so you can just get a bunch of them. That's a special attack. After you get that, go to the left, pop this for a weapon. Just Holy and Blood Loss is a decent choice, but you do need you know, 10 agility for it. Just gonna shoot that down, step behind the fence so he can't get us, and we're gonna go ahead and try to snipe him. Should take 3. There you go. Alright, so we got them out of our face. Go and grab your sets. The start of your pilgrim set, it's like the top and bottom, and we'll get the rest of it here soon. That's, you know, it's like not really armor, it's an outfit. Go in here to the left, smash him. Yeah, it's just really an outfit, and you know, you want to get all the armor in the game for a trophy. But like I said, you're gonna take 3 playthroughs. You don't have to worry about that your first playthrough. I would honestly, you know, if you're going for a platinum, first playthrough is just getting your build together. That's what I would suggest. You know, we'll get a lot of the stuff so I collect all the items and all that stuff. But second playthrough, that's what I would go buy all the spells, buy all the armor, because you know you're gonna need to get levels your first playthrough, guys. You know what I mean? So this is a very, very elite enemy, especially early on. go in with the soul flake, start busting him down as much as possible. As soon as he comes out of it, run up to this ladder. And we're gonna go over a tactic I would suggest newer players use. Obviously, I can take him out. Played this game enough to do so, but this is gonna help some people. Let's hit him with some spells. If we get too close, we can do a drop attack and mess him up. You're gonna see he's gonna shoot at you. If he buffs the sword with fire, you're probably about to die if you don't, really know how to properly parry him. There you go. You can also drop his weapon. It's a pretty rare drop, but it could happen. Now, anytime you pull these lanterns, you're going to avenge other players, meaning they've died to an enemy. You kill that enemy, you'll get what's known as plucked eyeballs, which you can turn in at the hub area to actually be able to get umbral scours. So it's just another way. You do have to be on multiplayer, which opens you up for invasions. I've only got invaded once, small playthrough being online, but it might give us an edge, right? As get more umbral scours, and give us more weapons and armor stuff. So we're going to use the lamp, but we're not going to enter umbral. You can, you just don't have to. Either way, it's not going to hurt. Going down, we're going to take out the enemies first, then we'll grab our items. It's funny, I've done so many playthroughs and I've missed this area. I didn't find it until I started doing my detailed notes for the walkthrough. So right over here would be the raw mangler axe. If you're doing an inferno build, you're going to need 13 inferno, or any build that wants to use it, obviously. 13 inferno does burn damage, which does damage over time, does fire, does physical. So really good early game weapon. Any other weapon we picked up, I would like to use that, but like I said, we gotta have, 10 agility? It might be worth just putting... It might be worth just putting 2 points into agility just to use that, because it does have, blood loss on it too. Ooh. Let's get siphon this guy. Beat him down. Beat him down. Where is he? Yeah, so they're going to love to hide behind wood and then kind of jump out at you or whatever they can hide behind. Now the next area, we're going up scaffolding. Literally going up scaffolding up the side of a mountain, and they'll hide behind crates and they just want to pop out at you and push you off the cliff. So I would just make it a habit to deal with them that way. Okay, attack him from the back. Break those. Grab your unripe berries. Now those are going to boost stamina recovery speed. So they're really nice, but we do need to save one for a quest. The quest isn't for a while, and you'll find more along the way. But yeah, I would definitely, keep that in mind. Matter of fact, we actually find some unripe berries right before we get to the area where that quest is. So it doesn't matter if you want to use those right now, you're good to go. Now we do have enough for at least one level, just short of 2 probably. So let's start getting, look at that, we could get agility up and get a better weapon. Thinking if we should do that. I don't know if I'm going to need agility for anything else. I'd like to get these other stats done. Well, let me look at that weapon. Because what we want to do is get, health and endurance to a certain point. First and foremost. But 70 blood loss and physical. Oh, it's just blood loss and physical. It's nothing to even do with holy. I thought it did. Hollowed, obviously, right? But yeah, okay, so that's not for us. I've never used it before, but until we reach the stats for really good weapons we're gonna get, we want to use something for now and upgrade something for now that's gonna help, right? So I'm gonna go in endurance. We want to get health and endurance 20 as fast as we can. Now, should you leave here, don't worry about that door that takes you to fight Shield first. It's a later game area. We don't have the key for it, so we're not worried about it. We're going to enter Umbral, pull your platform down, drop, drop. Have a few guys to kill. He's about to hatch, take him out. Alright, and we're good. The reason I did this is we have to pull 2 things. Soul Flake. When I say pull, I mean Soul Flake. One is going to be Umbral Eye, which can be socketed into a lamp to give us certain things. Really nice. That one in particular is going to give us another Soul Plate charge. So we'll have two. And your Soul Plate charge is right under your mana bar. As long as that little globe is lit up, you have a Soul Plate. You could use, if you're out, you could just kind of siphon those pustules, then they'll slowly refill it. Make sure you get your Stigma, and then we're just going to press forward here. If I remember, we're pretty close to a level, so let's just try to take this guy out. So right when he, oh, yeah, so these guys are actually pretty easy to parry if you know what to do. So right when they take off that lead foot, come off that toe to lead forward, hit your parry. It's going to feel really early, but you'll hit it 10 out of 10 times, like, unless you're just not positioned right, you know. So we'll say 9 out of 10 to be safe. If you're not lined up correctly, I guess it could be a problem. But usually, you know, it just always works out. Alright. So now we got all of our side paths caught up. We're going to just move forward and keep trucking along. So as we get here, you're going to shoot that down. It's a really good ring early on. It's going to boost stamina recovery and give you a little bit of extra endurance as well. And I'll keep that. I usually keep that ring on for quite a while, and I guess it didn't fall. See? Right when it comes off that lead foot, that's where you hit your parry. Alright. You get your ring, it's going to put that on. So like I said, Mine Owner's Ring. Increase maximum stamina and stamina regeneration. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I equipped it. I remember talking about it. I'm like, shit, I hope I equipped it. Alright, now we're going to move forward. We do need to enter Umbral, so you can either enter Umbral or just kind of drown yourself. Alright, so now we're down here. Just going to pick up your consumables. So those are your ammo pouches, like I said. Whatever you have equipped, whether it be a rock or, you know, a grenade, you have infinite amounts as long as you have ammo. So your ammo is going to be, you know, just like your mana. But, you know, you can refill mana with mana stone clusters. You can refill ammo with ammo pouches. So just giving you, you know, making sure you have what you need to either cast or, you know, use your ranged weapons. You are going to be dependent on finding them around the world or just your drops. Where is he? Oh, Big Bro came down. As you're already seeing, parries are extremely powerful in this game. Get out of here. Alright. I want to go on up. Go to your left, exit Umbral, kick down your shortcut. Now usually will knock them back too. Oh, not him. Alright. We're going to kick down your shortcut. I'm already seeing some souls over there, so it's going to siphon those up. You don't even need to aim your lantern. Just doing that in the area is going to get everything. So right behind here. Like I said, if you just always expect them to be there, 9 times out of 10 they will. You see, parry, you know, it's not too bad. It feels really smooth too. This is one of the Souls games that really feels like a current gen. You know, it's just really smooth combat, amazing graphics. I really liked it. I liked this game quite a bit. Obviously, I spent, you know, probably 100 hours going through, taking notes and get prepared for a walkthrough. So spent a lot of time with it. It's a phenomenal game. It can get irritating at times, you know, any Souls game can, but it is. It's a lot of fun. Just gonna talk to Wayfarer, as all his dialogue.
You carry the lamp long enough, and you'll see history repeat, over and over. If you don't want to keep retreading the same ground yourself should you fall, make use of this. I've given you more umbral guidance than I ever had. From now on, find your own way, and stay out of mine.
So that is our first seedling. Plant that with triangle, but you got to be over an umbral flower bed. Like you see the roots on the ground, you hold up your lantern. Now your lantern will actually flash when you're near one, So, let's go and rest. So you'll know where one's present. So these work as temporary vestiges in case you're, far between one. You're worried about it. Now, a lot of times you don't want to use these though. Let's go and grab another level since we're close. Yeah, you don't want to use these because they'll, you'll be able to plant a seedling right here, but then you'll go up a ladder and there'll be a permanent vestige, and you just waste that seedling. In game, we're gonna need a bunch of these. Those areas get really complex. And just going through like one area at a time, you're gonna have to plant like 5 seeds because it's tough and there's multiple layers. Like there's a tower we have to do, and yeah, when we get there, we'll be planting a bunch. In the cold region, we'll be planting a bunch just because it's hard stuff to cover, and you don't want a huge run back every time, which gets you killed. So at this point, forward, we're just going around, kind of looking in the fire, getting all of the the consumables that are laying around. So they're actually about to help us with the boss fight. So this is the fire giant, big old dead body. So these guys are kind of fighting each other. And you might think it's a good spot to get souls, but it's not. They're just not worth anything. He umbrelled us. It's okay. He had us cornered in. It happens. It says too much damn health, I swear. Alright. So, you can kind of let them guys kill him too. They'll at least get his health way down for you. Wow, regular beryllium at this time is crazy. So, we will get a blacksmith, and we will be able to upgrade our weapons, but it's not going to be for 2 episodes. So. Which is, pretty early to get access to a blacksmith. And we're going to have plenty of stones to bring weapons probably up to, +2, +3, pretty early on. So we will be taking full advantage of that. Now, if you aren't in Umbral, this is going to burn you going down into it, but it's not too bad. And we're about to go and fight Pietà. Pietà, she's going to have a holy sword, does a lot of holy damage, pretty easy to parry. She has a grab attack you do not want to get hit by, very telegraphed, easy to dodge. A lot of, really wide swipes, that's what you want to parry, but she can also make clones of herself and braid swords. And so when she makes clones, one will go to the far left, one will go to the far right, and they kind of just fly all the way straight down the whole path. Raining swords, or they could just come out and just do one swoop attack, and you just want to dodge that, or just think of it this way: wherever they are, you aren't. If you remember that, they're never going to hit you. I promise you, God, they will not hit you. Just remember that one thing: if they're here, I'm not here, right? Besides that, she has a holy beam she could do, and you can kind of tell it shoots out the end of her sword, so it's pretty easy to dodge. So the rest, we'll kind of just go through as it plays out. So, now I'm going this fight in Umbral, so you guys are going to have a way better chance than me. Like I said, really easy to parry, also pretty easy to dodge. Look at that, there we got our first critical. Sometimes she'll follow that up. So do like a second slam. Oh, dodge. Good. Alright, so when she's doing this, she runs to the side. I like to go to the left, but it don't matter. Alright, so it's going to rain swords. She's going to come down. Now her kind of gets into little swoop motions. And with every boss in this game, every boss, doesn't matter which one, all you got to remember, alright, so when she makes the rain swords, just run, line back up. But all you got to remember, guys, is you just want to be patient. So we're running away. Ugh, I was trying to buff and got caught. Ooh, that was close. But yeah, just be patient, don't get greedy. Just hit here, hit there. You remember that, you're good to go. There we go. That we're health back. And I might actually die to her for the first time in God knows when, because I don't have no more heals. Remember, like I said, wherever they are, you're not, right? So, you see they went to either side. Get that critical. What's she doing? So, middle and right, we're on the left. Dodge to that. And just wait for her to come back over. Dodge. God, she's hitting us. She didn't hit us this much with the spells. Ooh. And that's it. Like I said, I did an umbral. You know, you guys are going to have 2 lives here if you go back and rest like I suggested. So, you know, you guys will have more of an advantage over me. So, it should be a little bit easier for you guys. Now, so if you aren't in umbral, make sure you enter umbral.
Brothers and sisters, you
That's going to be her stigma. Every remembrance boss has one. If you don't pull this, you do not get the remembrance, you do not get the weapon, armor, or any spells they may have.
My wishes will not ease your suffering,
So,
but I pray my sorcery
just in
does.
case one of those little bum guys pops up, I'm going to leave umbral. We don't really want to, though, but I just don't want to die while we're all the way here. You know what I mean? So we're going to go up top and get Sanctify, which is a spell. Now we're going to go down this tower and get on into our hub area. We'll cover everything here, and then we'll close on out for our first episode and get ready for the Pilgrim's Perch. But going here is really nice, as we'll be able to get some spells, some weapons, if we choose. I'm going to recommend you do, if you're going with the recommended build. We're going to actually be in an extremely powerful spot after this episode early on, in my opinion. So, going forward, we'll be able to talk to Dumbmeyer. Where are we at on time, guys? Oh, 37 minutes. Great. Let's go ahead and exhaust his dialogue.
As one worthy of my name is Dunmeyer, and I am an exactor of the Dark Crusaders, the holy order of which you are now an honored member. The Church of Orient Radiance has assigned to me the duty of purging Mornstead of its Rogar blight and ensuring the ancient tyrant Adir knows no liberation from his enduring imprisonment. While the schism between the church, she and her did at least
you guys get it.
It is to use the and deliver self. Rogar, the Aureus.
Okay, so you got Dark Crusaders Challenge, emote. Now, we have 7,000 souls. You're probably thinking levels. Well, levels will come. Let's use this to get in a better spot. So let's go ahead and grab another hammer. Well, you know what? Kind of wanting to wait because I'm going to replace this soon. I mean, it's only 600. Give us something better for now, and then we're gonna get the umbral or the radiant weapon spell. That's really strong. So early on, because these hammers actually have holy, right? So you're getting physical and holy on both. It goes with the build. Strength and radiance goes perfectly with our build. And then the spells, radiant flares. That's kind of our ranged option, and then we will now have a weapon buff that's really strong as well. This is just gonna heal and cleanse status effects. So it's a decent early on option for survivability if you want to use it. I don't really ever feel like I need it though, is the thing. I guess we'll go ahead and activate our vestige, get our levels. So, rest up. Vitality to 15. Now, Pietà has turned into an NPC who can heal our upgrade our healing items, and then also she will let us respec with her. Now, respecing is extremely rare, and that's why I'm telling you guys, start focusing your build, know what you're going for, because it's really hard to respec.
By Aureus's divine will, I live again. It's a miracle. And to think I raised my sword to you, When all along you were a divine instrument sent by him to deliver my death and rebirth. Forgive me, Lamp. I'm Pietà. So too will, whether by contained within this. Should you bring them to me, the beacons must be, and Adir's fellow chosen. Our holy work continues, Lamp. Fellow sanctified vessel, may Aureus' divine radiance flow through me and into you.
Okay, so now put us up to 4. So if you're doing an Umbral build, you either went Radiance or you went Inferno. Now, you start off with 18, one or the other. But you'll be down at 8. If you can go ahead and put 4 points, we're going to talk to him. You got to be an Umbral to talk to Mulhouse. So this is going to be your Umbral NPC here. But you can get this catalyst, but you need 12. Go 4 points into whatever stat you're short. Then you can start, setting up your Umbral build, and more options will come along as, you progress through the game. So, but we do want to go ahead and socket our Umbral Eye. That's the eye we picked up. The Eye of Betrayed Eliard. 1 Soulflay charge plus 15 dread resistance. That's that meter that fills up. And when you're in Umbral too long, a meter is going to fill up, and then Red Reapers and all these really dangerous enemies start coming when you spend too much time there. Now, if you use a secondary socket, you get a different action. So read your main and secondary sockets. Now, we don't have a secondary socket until we upgrade the lamp, which actually didn't come for quite some time. But when you're choosing Umbral Eyes, you want to make sure you have a look at that. Now, besides that, we can go over here and talk to Stoneman. And we're going to be actually getting something from Stoneman.
So the eggs are given that, and yet now, well, I'm Stoneman, a group of
and
against
2 episodes.
We made of whatever the cost to ourselves. That heretical as are you.
So,
Radiance,
what he has is
judgment.
just like basic start and stuff, right? From most of the other classes, early armor options. Clear all of our markers off so we get new stuff we know. But yeah, so pretty much all start and stuff. But he has this key. It's 18,000 souls. And typically, he drops it later. I'd say, don't worry about it. We'll get it later. It's not a big deal. But we are actually going to show you guys a farm. Now, I will never, ever suggest farming for levels, but we are going to farm up enough souls to buy this. The reason for that is it's going to let us in a later game area to get end game weapons. So the reason I want to get these end game weapons now, we won't be able to use them, but we'll know what stats we need to use them. So whether, you're going long, and they're going to be strength radiant weapons, but some are like equal strength and radiance, or some is like 20 strength and 32 radiance, or some are 28. So it's going to let you know, hey, should I go higher radiance because I like this weapon, or should I keep the stats evenly distributed? And that way you're working your build towards these weapons without wasting stats in places, right? Not to mention there's another weapon we can get for now that we're already going to reach the stat requirements for. So that's going to be really nice too. Something we could use until, we get our stats right. So we are going to come here. Now this isn't doing anything cheap or out of the way or anything cheesy. It's an item he sells to let us in the game area. They put it in the game. We're going to take full advantage of it.
Look at you. And aren't you the multifaceted one? We tend to stay dead when we die. And Aureus knows enough of us have done just that. Anyway, like Nathaniel says, you keep looking back, you don't see the blade coming at your front. We set ourselves a task and we have to finish it. Best watch your step out there. Mornstead is a land awash in blood, both deserved and undeserved alike.
That lamp you've got there is heresy, stranger. But then, seems it's getting harder to tell what is and what ain't nowadays. Strange times. But in the end, there's right and there's wrong. And that I hope for both our sakes, if in doubt, much as he might think.
Okay, to exhaust both their dialogues, I apologize, I had to mute it. My dogs are really annoying. Alright, so once you did that, break these, you'll be able to get another spell. Now this is going to be the Shrine of Aureus. You'll be able to turn in multiplayer items to buy stuff, so. That's the only thing I'd go for. It's a final upgrade map for your weapons. Then you just, have different teams and an armor set and stuff like that. But you're gonna get these from doing like multiplayer stuff, not invasions, but co-op rather, or certain enemies even drop them as well. But once again, yeah, sorry I had to mute it. My dogs won't shut the fuck up. And I just didn't want all the background noise. Either way, at this point, I do believe we have done everything. So to show off our new weapon stuff, so we have our buff on. So now we're gonna get even more holy damage, and also smite damage for a few hits, or when we build up enough smite, I should say. Should be like a lightning bolt kind of comes down and just rips through enemies. It's really, really, really nice. And you know, we have our ranged attack. We have 2 hammers we're dual wielding, both doing physical and holy damage. So just, you know, really, really, really good spot this early on. Either way, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap up here. Next episode, we will be proceeding into the Pilgrim's Perch. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the walkthrough this far, and we will be back here shortly.